Good afternoon. I'd like to call, it is, 4:30 exactly. I'd like to call today's planning commission meeting on June 23rd, 4:30 PM to order. First on the agenda, I'll look around. I think we have one, two. All seven of us are here, so I have a quorum. Okay. First off, approval of minutes from site plan minutes from June 9th, 2025.
I'll move to approve.
I second.
Okay, motion by Lampe and second by Levi. Okay. Any discussion on it? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, under number 3, under business, A, public hearing for 309 South Third Street, 307 South Third Street, request for a conditional use permit for exterior for an exception to allow exterior building materials under section 550-121F. Like to open that public hearing at this time right now? If anybody in the audience wishes to speak on that?
Yeah.
And I guess we're already here. Okay.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Chris Odo. I'm with Insight Consulting Architects. We represent Mario and Alondra, the owners of Los Perez. And we are here to propose a project that is an exterior renovation project. We're refreshing the exterior as well as a kitchen, in addition onto a kitchen in addition to their current kitchen facility. It's within the existing building. Mason, can you pull up this slideshow?
Everybody-
Chris, this is the public hearing portion, so I didn't know if we were gonna wait until
I
the
apologize.
next item.
I thought he was gonna speak for the public hearing, yeah. If you want, to just sit down and come back up in a minute. This public hearing is open. I thought for a second you wanted to speak. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I apologize.
No, it's okay.
About that.
Okay, if anybody had any
No worry.
concerns over it, yeah. Is there anybody else here who'd like to comment on the public hearing? Okay, in that case, at 4:32, I'll call that public hearing closed and then move on to section B. You can take action at 309 South Third Street, 307 South Third Street, request for a conditional use permit for an exception to allowed exterior building materials under section 550-121F. Okay, now, we'll come back up. Yeah,
Thank you.
sure.
You have green lights on, Chris?
It is on.
Okay.
Again, all the same.
Yeah, I'll let the plan, so everybody I think has one of these here. We're also gonna shoot up on the screen for anybody that's looking at this later on, but you can feel free to, as you mentioned before, the site plan, use the screen if you'd like, yes.
Thank you. So what we're seeing here is just to orient everybody to the site. They're on South Third Street between Jefferson and Dodge. If we go to the existing or the next one, this is the existing condition of the storefront of the building. We're proposing to refresh it with metal panels and new signage. So if we can go to the next one, please. Here's some technical drawings that we put together for the submittal. In the lower right, you could see the areas in which we're applying for signage as well as the new material. I think it's easier to see it on the next slide. Good. Comparison of what's there and what we're proposing. Pretty straightforward. It's we're going to take down the asphalt mansard, replace it with a kind of a top half design, and there's going to be we're proposing a red flush metal panel in the lower section where currently there's a tongue-in a board and batten that's painted red. We are going to replace that with a metal panel. And then the mansard we're proposing, and this is where the conditional request is coming from, is that we're proposing a smooth corrugated metal panel that'll be white. If we could go to the next one. In the current ordinance, there's a limitation on corrugated metal panels. So we want to speak to that specifically. If we go to the next one. The Quality of the metal panel is going to be the same as all the other metal panel that we would choose. It's just a different profile. It's made at the same location, made with the same factory quality paint applications. And the profile we're looking to have on the upper part in white is the second down from the top, second from the left. And that's the profile. Very simple. And this is more of the manufacturing specs that describe the quality of this metal panel. Couple of examples that we did a little research while we were here in Watertown. There are metal panels used in a vertical orientation. This happens to be one of them. And I think we have a couple more that we could show. So there's some precedent set locally with metal panels used in that orientation. Can we go to the next slide, please? Here are a few projects within Madison, Wisconsin. We used to have, I'm from there, we used to have same limitation on corrugated metal, and I don't know that we've actually officially got rid of it, but we're using it as precedent in many other projects in Madison anyway, not that you're Madison, but it's an example how it is being used. And here are other perspectives from that we modeled in a 3D model and put color on so that you have a really good idea of what we're seeing as a final product. And I understand, of course, we have to submit the signage package separately, and we'll do so in our next steps. Anything? Do we want to go to the other original submittal?
We can.
That would be nice, I think. In the one of our first submittals, we have a slide which shows an actual metal panel, flush panel, and if you, there we go. That's a better image of what we're proposing. I'm going to keep it simple and open it to questions, or how we do it.
Fairly new to the plan commission, just two questions. Is there a requirement for so many parking spaces per square footage?
Not in central business. so.
Okay, all right, and what about handicap parking?
I believe there's a requirement for one or
Like
two there.
one or two?
Yeah.
Okay. Just-
And they also put one across the street in their parking lot. They just
Okay,
did. So
all right, thank you. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Is the entire project going to include more than the original Metro Market at the present time and extend to the two buildings on either side of it?
It will not. So we're doing this refresh on the face of the building, not changing any of the outside envelope. And in the back where there's an existing storage room, we're using that and converting it to a kitchen.
And will there be on-site dining, or is it going to be essentially carry out business?
There actually is an existing kitchen right now that's in the southeast corner. We're repeating that roughly the same size in the northeast corner. And there is seating interior of that area, behind in the back of the grocery store.
Right.
Yeah. So we're not expanding the seating.
Thank you.
I was just gonna ask if you want to mention the kitchen, but it got taken care of now, so. Mrs. Lampy, did you have?
Yeah, I'd just like to add, I think this looks fantastic.
Okay.
And the use of the corrugated metal doesn't bother me. I think it looks nice on this building, and this is far enough away from the commercial historic district that I don't think it really, I'm not concerned about the use of that material. But again, I think it looks fantastic.
Was that just based on aesthetics? Why they weren't allowed to use it?
it's an ordinance requirement that
Just based on,
generally not supposed to be used. Yeah.
no, I agree. This looks great. And I also love your grocery store. So best Pico in town, if you ask me.
I think having a PowerPoint and showing different examples is great too. Help for site plan, helping here too as well. So any further questions? I think we can.
I
Mr.
just wanna
Blanky?
Echo those comments. I mean, it looks, you're taking a building that kind of just looks old, that maybe sold auto supplies, and it changing it. I mean, it really actually looks like a supermarket from the street. It looks fantastic. I mean, this is such an upgrade that it just draws you in. Whereas before you could drive by it and completely miss what's there. The change, especially the signage, like it just draws you right in. So I think it looks great. Thank you.
Okay, any, Mr. Blanky?
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Okay, do we have any, there's no, we're all good, right? There's nothing to pass. Okay, all right. Got a motion by Blanky,
Second.
second by Kenizer. Okay, any further discussion at all? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Mayor, does he want these back?
Do you need these copies back? or-
Do you need us for anything else?
We printed those.
You want it back?
Give 'em- Blank, you'll take them all later. Good. Okay. We'll move on to section C. Initial review and set public hearing date, parcel number 291-015-0832-005. Highway A, Milford Street rezone from PO, planned office and institutional to PI planned industrial.
So yes, that is a rezoning from land office and institutional to planned industrial. This is to facilitate a future sale and development of this parcel. I believe Mason will have a couple of comments here about this as well, since he's the one who initiated this. And what we're looking for here is just an initial review and the scheduling of the public hearing on July 15th.
Go ahead, Mr. Becker.
Yeah, thank you. No, yes, this request was brought forth after a lot of work and evaluation by city staff. We also have worked with Deb Reinbold from Thrive Economic Development, who's here this afternoon with us. It's been a lengthy process. We've gone through both phase 1 and phase 2 environmental that show no major concerns with the site. We also did do a phase 1 archaeological study last year of this site, which also found no major issues or concerns with the property. As I mentioned in the memo that was included in your packet, this is the only major piece of buildable land that the city of Watertown owns at this time. And just looking at the economic development that is going on throughout the county, I think it makes sense to start initiating this rezoning process and getting this ready for hopefully potential future marketing and sale, as Brian alluded to.
Okay, does anybody have any questions at all?
I have a comment.
Mr. Blanky?
Because we do have a couple of new members on the commission. This was actually brought to us 6 months ago, roughly.
I would say about 6 months. Yeah, that sounds right.
Asking the commission what we were looking to do with this piece of land. And I think we had a pretty healthy discussion on it. And as Mason said, with what we're seeing happening in the county, the planned industrial was what the commission discussed and decided on for the zoning. So just that little bit of background, I think, might help.
No,
This is-
appreciate that.
This is the mid, not heavy industrial, just it's mid, usually buildings will have landscape and,
Yeah, we for a variety of reasons, we weren't quite sure if heavy industrial was the right fit. There's just concerns with upcoming residential development in the nearby neighborhood. And it just seemed like that wasn't quite what residents and stakeholders were maybe comfortable with in that area. Planned industrial does still allow a wide range of uses, but it does maintain some certain aesthetic standards that would have to be maintained on that parcel.
It has higher green space requirements and things of that nature, so.
it'll match better with any houses in the area.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Any more questions? Always I'll entertain a motion. Comments?
Is the motion to set the public hearing?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would
guess.
so move.
Okay. Motion
second.
for the public hearing to be set by Lampy and second by,
Second?
Who's that?
by Pyre. Okay, thank you. Yeah, if you can, I got people on both sides, so just maybe have your hand up or something. We'll try to get that. Second by Pyre. Any further discussion on setting the public hearing? Okay, all those in favor say aye then?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. Next
Thank
move.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's good. Okay.
Thank you, Deb. Thank you, Mason.
All right, next, D, initial review and set public hearing date for 213 South First Street, rezone from multifamily residential to MR8 to MR8 to central business CB. Brian, let's start on that too.
Yeah, this is a similar initial review and setting a public hearing date for the rezoning request from multifamily 8 to central business. This is to facilitate the combining of this parcel with adjacent parcels. The existing residential structure on there will be raised and its area will be used for parking for the adjacent business. The zoning has to be the same on all the parcels in order for them to be combined. So that's the nature of this rezoning request.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Levi.
I would ask to be excused from this portion of the meeting.
Okay,
Attorney Chris Kopis was, there is in the law firm I came from.
no, well, I'll make a vote where, so Mr. Blank, if you can note that Mr. Levi wishes to recuse himself from this section of the meeting.
So that-
Well, we'll not have any comment or any voice vote at all.
That includes not only the vote, but any of the,
Any, right, any discussion?
Any
Yep,
discussion? Yep.
yep. Good. Okay, thank you. Mr. Colbus.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I couldn't have said it better myself, Mr. Zerbies. The issues are relatively narrow on this one. My client, Dylan Ursel LLC, this is the Tyrific location downtown between First and Second Street. My client recently acquired the multifamily residential lot just to the west southwest of his existing business. And the overall game plan is indeed to pursue a combination of the now 3 lots in the block pursuant to our proposed CSM that we submitted with our packet, and then eventually seek the central business designation for the zoning. So this is first step in the process, primarily here just to make sure any preliminary questions are answered related to the game plan for the parcels. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Does anybody have a question for Mr. Colbus at all? Mr. Byer?
Is the plan just to demo the one site on First Street? We're combining 3 lots here. Is there any plan for the 106 Jefferson Street site as well at this time?
Not aware of any plan on 106 Jefferson. Basically, we've gone as far as making plans for the demo of the multifamily residential. Obviously, I'm aware that can involve a separate permitting process. So before the commission here, just looking for the combination and rezone.
Just looking at the map a little bit. Okay. Any further questions? Okay, we'll entertain a motion then.
Is a motion to go. to the-
Sorry, yeah, set a public hearing date, yes. Okay, Mr. Kniezer, okay. Second by Talaga for a public hearing date. Okay, any further discussion on that? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, thank you, Mr. Colpus.
All right, thank you.
All right, I'll move on to E, review and take action 110 South Church Street Certified Survey Map.
And so this is a certified survey map to combine 2 existing parcels that make up the St. Brainerd's Catholic Church property. This is to facilitate a proposed project to raise a couple of buildings there and expand their parking lot. No new right of way is required here, and they have put the appropriate airport approach zone elevation on the CSM.
Please go ahead. Yes.
Should I wait for the next topic to speak to the project?
Oh,
or-
yeah, yeah, why don't we just do,
Mr. Mayor?
yeah,
Wait?
we can wait, yeah.
Okay.
Wait till F, yes.
But I'm
So-
here for any questions. I think,
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah,
Davis did a good job.
Just in case somebody.
Describing
Yeah.
what the
Anybody-
intent is in joining the lots.
Yep,
Mhm.
that's the intention. So the next step would be to approve if that's what the plan commission chooses to do.
Okay, so just on the map only, do I hear?
Map only, yes.
Yep. So just E. Mr. Levi?
is this gonna be the only vote on that property?
No, this is just for the CSM, the survey.
CSM for
Just for
E,
the
yeah,
survey.
we're gonna do 2 different votes. E and F have to take different votes, so.
And on the property included? If
Uh,
might
I,
you want me to wait?
What was the question?
think it's okay.
Question is, whether or not the existing, rectory building is going to be retained, or is that going to be part of the new parking lot?
I'm sorry, the rectory building, which building are you referring to?
One on the corner,
No, that building is intended to remain.
that's probably,
That building is intended to remain. It is not part of the current project scope.
it'll just be the one building.
And the garage building.
in the
Mhm.
garage. Thank you.
Okay. Any further questions or comments on E, on item E?
I'll make a motion to approve the CSM as presented.
Okay. Motion by Lampy, second by Levi to approve the CSM. Okay, any further discussion on that? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Next on F, review and take action 110 South Church Street site plan review.
Yes, this is for the actual parking lot expansion, which will include the raising of those two structures. Will result in a total of 66 parking stalls in the existing and new parking lot. And a couple of those will be ADA compliant. The rest of it is, the only other thing that's outstanding from the applicant is a lighting plan that shows how they intend to light the lot, and a photometric plan that makes sure they aren't spilling light beyond the property lines. So the recommendation would be that the be approved with requirement that they obtain an erosion controlled stormwater permits, and that they submit a lighting and photometric plan that meets ordinance requirements.
If you like you did before, like with site plan, just
Yeah.
mention how the churches are working together and stuff too for the paper and.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
So I'm Angela Brzezowski. I lead the strategic planning team for the St. Therese of Lisieux Parish, which is a new name regionally. It is the merging of four parishes: the St. Henry Parish, the St. Bernard Parish, the St. Francis Parish in Lake Mills, and the St. Mary Magdalene Parish in Johnson Creek. As part of our plan, our team has been tasked with, making sure we're using all of our assets and facilities to the greatest extent and serving our congregation. With that, it changed mass times, mass locations, and has consolidated our weekend masses at the St. Bernard campus, which has caused some accessibility concerns from some of our parishioners, which is what triggered the need for this, parking expansion, and really the drop off to be able to allow for improved accessibility to the front door of the existing church. And so that's what's really driven it. Thank you for letting us, and we do have a plan to get a lighting plan in place. We had been informed that perhaps the existing lighting would be adequate, so we will get the photometrics followed up with as a contingent, as we discussed during the site plan review earlier. And we are already underway getting our stormwater and erosion control permit application in place. And then demolition is happening in a separate application. I'm here for any questions that you may have.
Okay. Mr. Zerbis, what was the two conditions again? It was erosion?
Erosion control and stormwater, and then the photometric and lighting plan.
The entrances to the parking lot is gonna stay the same, correct? Nothing's
Yes.
coming off of Church Street?
Nothing is coming out of Church
Okay.
Street.
Okay, any further questions or comments at all? Okay,
Mr. Mayor, may I ask a question on that lighting plan?
Mr. Becker, sure. Why don't you, yeah.
And you can hear me all right.
If you, Mr. If you got mic, yeah, we're on, it's recorded, so if you want to, yeah, come on up, sir. Yeah.
I approach everything from a practical standpoint, and so on the lighting plan, in a period of a couple weeks, the buildings that are there are going to be ground level, so that we would be able to evaluate the ambient lighting, the lighting that's already there on the perimeter on several buildings, and determine if that is adequate or maybe even exceeds the requirements without having to engage and pay for a theoretical lighting plan. Could we evaluate empirically what we have before, with the stipulation that if we don't meet the requirement for whatever the foot candle requirement is, that we upgrade that and that we shield it or barn door it or whatever the term is, so that we're not exceeding spillover requirements into other properties or into the roadway. I'm just asking if we can do that just empirically rather than theoretically.
Yeah, that the intention of the lighting requirements is that the lighting is shielded and not causing glare, and that it doesn't spill over the property line more than a half a foot candle is what it requires. So whatever your grand plan is, whether you want to use existing lighting and shield it or add some lighting, whatever that ends up being is what you need to submit, and just make sure that it meets those requirements.
So my question is, do we have to hire an engineer to do that, or can we empirically evaluate the light once the buildings are out of the way and see how what we have there works?
Well, you can decide if there's enough lighting in your lot, but the requirements of the foot candles at the property line probably would require some expertise to prove that you're not spilling light over, or you're not causing glare over the property line.
Okay.
That part of
And
it would be
at what point does that have to be done?
before the permits are issued.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yeah, sure. Okay, Mr. Becker. Yeah, Mr. Blanky.
Would there be separate sets of permits for this, one for the demolition and one for the construction?
Yeah, the demolition is a separate process from construction.
So when you say before the permits are issued, are you referring to the permit for construction?
Construction of the lot,
Okay.
yeah,
So effectively, he can do exactly what he's saying.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
So you can tear the building down, then evaluate the lighting needs, right? Okay. Okay, good, Mr. Becker. Okay. All right. Mr. Blanky,
I'd like to make a motion to approve with the conditions noted.
okay. With the stormwater erosion control and the lighting.
Yes.
Okay, we have a motion by Blanky,
I'll second it.
second by Kenizer. Okay. Any further discussion or comments? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. All right, next is G, review public hearing comments and make recommendation to common council. Text amendments to chapter 545 subdivision of land.
Okay, so this is coming back. You've seen this before. It came back from the public hearing at council. There were no public comments for either of these any of these four changes. Just a real refresher, proposed amendments 1 and 2 deal with park fees, the collection of fees in lieu of land dedication, and when they would be collected. And this proposal here is they get collected at the time of land division. And the recreation improvement fees would then continue to be collected at the time of building permit issuance. It's more of an administrative thing, makes it much easier to actually collect those fees if they're done during those times. The other change that's being proposed here is the use of expanded CSMs. This is allows the city to approve land divisions with more than the 4 lots that are normally only allowed with CSMs. This would allow multifamily to create up to 12 lots through a CSM, and commercial and industrial to create up to 8 lots. It just speeds up the land division and approval process for that tremendously. And there is actually a proposal looking to use the multifamily option here in the end of July. So the only thing that has changed from the original proposal, after having talked with the city attorney under amendment number 2, the parenthesis 5, it's highlighted in gray in your packet. We struck out the section there where it allows deferment of payment for over $75,000 of impact fees. Realistically, that's never been used, and it'd be very difficult to use, because if you have a fee in lieu of dedication, you'd have to have 117 lot subdivision with no park dedication before you exceeded $75,000, and the likelihood of that happening is very, very small. And then the improvement fees are always collected at the time of building permit issuance, so they're only done 1 at a time or 2 at a time, and that it would never hit $75,000 either. So we decided to strike that part out. So basically, it just says you collect the fee in lieu of dedication at the time of dedication of land division, and then the improvement fees get collected at the time of building permit. And so that's everything else is the same that you saw previously.
Thank you, Mr. Zervis. Anybody got any questions or comments about it? Just looking for approval to go to council for this.
Reading, yes.
Motion to approve.
Okay, motion by Talaga. Can discuss after a second too.
I'll second it.
Okay, second by Levi. Okay, any further discussion, comments? Okay, all right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. All right, next is H, review public hearing comments and make recommendation to common council. Text amendments to chapter 550-150, community entry corridor overlay zoning district.
Yes, this is a correction to an incorrect text that was discovered in the community entry corridor overlay zoning district. Vando and Associates that drafted it provided the correction. So we're just going through the steps here to make that correction. It's pretty straightforward.
Just crossing those few, crossing the red sections out, correct?
Yeah, if you read the way it was, it didn't
Yeah.
make a lot of sense. So, and it was missing part at the end. So just striking out the red part and adding the blue. If you look at the proposed ordinance amendment, it's really just the introductory section of that district. It doesn't have a whole lot of bearing on anything.
Okay. Mr. Blanky.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, I was waiting. Motion by Blanky,
I'll second it.
second by Kenizer. Thank you. Any further discussion, comments on it?
I had a question.
Mr. Levi?
What is the community entry corridor overlay zoning district? Traffic,
It's an overlay district that is applied to certain major thoroughfares like South Church Street, other places that require some additional aesthetics as far as landscaping and things of that nature that so it has an attractive look as you enter the city. It's basically that all in a nutshell is what that is. It's basically an extra layer of rules you have to follow when you develop in those corridors.
does it affect any individuals who live along those streets from like putting in driveway ramps or something of that nature?
No, it's mainly aesthetics. It's the look and appearance of the buildings and the landscaping to basically beautify those corridors as development takes place.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. All right, well, that's it. Now I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Lampy,
I'll second.
second by Kenizer. Okay, any discussion, comments on that one? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you.